We have reached the 1954 baseball season. It's a good year for somebody, if you're in New York. And you'll see, okay, before the season, Cincinnati changes its name from Reds to Red Legs, on speculation that began due to possible political connotation of the word Reds to mean communism. I think this is about the time the Cold War started happening too, so February 19th, Brooklyn signs Roberto Clemente and assigns him to the Montreal Orioles. He puts up decent numbers. The biggest mistake Brooklyn made was leaving him unprotected in the Rule 5 draft. I don't exactly understand it, but leaves him exposed in the Rule 5 draft, and Pittsburgh Pirates ends up claiming him. He has an outstanding career in Pittsburgh. March 13th, Milwaukee's Bobby Thompson. Yes, that Bobby Thompson that shot her around the world home run for the Giants in '51. Ends up breaking his ankle and is out until July 14th. Yeah, a potential prospect by the name of Henry Aaron. Yes, Hank Aaron, the 714 home runs, Hank Aaron, ends up replacing him. April 13th, Baltimore Orioles loses their first game as the host. Baltimore plays their first game in Detroit and they lose to the Tigers 3-0. Also on this day, Tom Alston becomes the first black player for the Cardinals, and Kurt Roberts becomes the first Pittsburgh Pirates black player. April 15th, Clint Courtney hits Baltimore's first ever home run at home, and an home opening day record in Baltimore of 46,354 people see the home Orioles win 3-1 over the White Sox. April 17th, Nino Escalina is Cincinnati's first black player. April 23rd, Hank Aaron hits his first ever home run at Sportsman's Park, which ends up being renamed Busch Stadium afterwards. I don't know why it wasn't already, but anyways, I'm going to shut up about that. Anyways, June 12th at Milwaukee's County Stadium, Jim Wilson of Milwaukee no-hits Philadelphia 2-0, beating Robin Roberts. Game takes an hour and 43 minutes, and both runs that Milwaukee scored were solo home runs. July 13th at Cleveland's Municipal Stadium, American League 11, National League 9. On August 1st, Gil Hodges hits career 13th Grand Slam homer. Ends up being a National League record. And nobody knew it at the time. That would be the Dodgers' last ever Grand Slam while playing in Brooklyn. Because the next Grand Slam they hit, they're in Los Angeles. Okay, here we go. Where are we now? September 5th, the All-American Girls Professional Baseball League has its last ever game as the Kalamazoo Lassies beat the Fort Wayne Daisies 8-5 in the last ever championship game. The league folds after a 12-year run. September 26th, the Philadelphia Athletics play their last ever game in Philadelphia. Now, if you're keeping your scorecards handy, and that's one because we're about to get to there. Anyways, September 29th, Game 1 of the World Series at the Polo Grounds. Willie Mays makes the catch off of Vic Wertz. Now, Sal Magley had given up a walk to Larry Doby, and then he gives up a hit to Al Rosen. Giants manager Leo DeRocher brings in Don Little to relieve Sal Magley, and Little is to face one batter, Vic Wertz. Vic Wertz sends the ball to the deepest part of the polo grounds, which is 460 some feet away, and the center field's like 480 feet, supposedly. Willie Mays, who had a habit of when he's got to catch the ball, he taps his glove. So when he tapped his glove, and he knew he was going to catch it. And if he didn't tap his glove, we weren't so sure. But in this case, he tapped his glove, made the catch, and he has a habit of either wearing an oversized helmet, oversized hat, or too small of a hat, because as he caught the ball and had the presence of mind to throw the ball back into the infield, hat flies off. Now, Larry Doby was sitting on second. Had he been wise, he could have tied up and scored from second, and as it was, Mays threw the ball back in so fast, Doby got as far as third base. And then Mark Grissom comes in to take over from Don Little. And Little, straight-faced, says to Grissom and to the pitching coach, "Well, I got my man." Grissom ends up walking Dale Mitchell to load the bases, and then struck out Dave Pope, and then got Jim Hegan to fly out, thereby ending the inning and not giving up a run. October 28th, Major League Baseball had voted down the sale of the Philadelphia Athletics to a Philly syndicate. A week later, Arnold Johnson buys control and buys a controlling interest from the Connie Mack family for $3.5 million. Moves the A's to Kansas City. Now, if you're keeping score, you had the Braves move from Boston to Milwaukee. You had the Browns move from St. Louis to Baltimore, becoming the Orioles. And now you can add number 3. The A's moving from Philadelphia to Kansas City, retaining the A's name. The next, I think, until the end of the 67th season, they're known as the Kansas City Athletics. Anyways, so there's that. So if you've got your scorecard handy, that's 3 teams moving from one city to another. And we haven't even hit the expansion part yet. So keep your scorecards handy. Anyways, season stats. Bobby Avila of Cleveland leads the American League with a .341 average. Larry Doby of Cleveland hits 32 home runs and 126 runs batted in. Those led the American League. Bob Lemon and Early Wynn of Cleveland. Each 23 wins that ends up in a 3-way tie for the overall Major League lead. That's only 2. We'll get to the third one. Mike Garcia of Cleveland led the American League with a 2.64 ERA. And Bob Turley of Baltimore, spoiling the Cleveland sweep, 185 strikeouts, tied with the Major League lead. Who with? Oh, we'll get to that. National League. Willie Mays of the Giants. Yes, that Willie Mays. Same Willie Mays. Led the majors with a .345 batting average. Ted Kluszewski of Cincinnati led the majors with 49 home runs and 141 RBIs. Pitching. Robin Roberts of Philadelphia. 23 wins. There's a 3-way tie for first for overall Major League lead in wins, with Bob Lemon and Early Wynn. Johnny Antonelli of the Giants, a 2.30 ERA, led the majors. And Robin Roberts of Philadelphia tied with Bob Turley of Baltimore for strikeouts at 185. Yeah, we're already at 10 minutes. I kind of figured this is going to be a long one. Anyway, just getting to the season stats. Cleveland led the American League with 111 wins and 43 losses. New York Yankees was second at 103 wins and 51 losses. 8 back. That would have led them National League, but we'll get to the National League. White Sox, 94 wins, 60 losses, 17 back. And here's the dividing line between the top 3 and the bottom 5. Boston Red Sox, 69 and 85, 42 games back. Detroit, 68 and 86, 43 games back. Washington, 66 and 88, 45 back. Baltimore, 54 wins, 100 losses, 57 games back. And the Philadelphia Athletics last season in Philly, 51 wins, 103 losses, 60 back. For the record, I don't think they get any better in Kansas City. National League, New York Giants, 97 wins, 57 losses, finishing first naturally. Brooklyn, 92 and 62, 5 back. Milwaukee, 89 and 65, 8 back. And we'll see them in the World Series shortly. Philadelphia Phillies, 75 and 79, 22 back. Dividing line here too between the top 3 and the worst 5. Cincinnati, 74 and 80, 23 back. St. Louis, 72 and 82, 25 back. Chicago, 64 and 90, 33 back. And Pittsburgh goes 53 and 101, 44 back. We now go to the World Series between the Cleveland Indians and the New York Giants. Giants' home games were at the Polo Grounds, and Cleveland's home games were at Cleveland Stadium. Game 1 on September 29th in New York. Giants 5, Cleveland 2 in 10 innings. 3-run home run did it, obviously. Game 2, September 30th in New York. Giants 3, Cleveland 1. 2-game lead going to Cleveland. Game 3, October 1st in Cleveland. Giants 6, Cleveland 2. 3-game lead. Pretty safe, right? Well, in this case, yes. Game 4, October 2nd in Cleveland. Giants 7, Cleveland 4. 4-game sweep for Giants, and I think that's their third or fourth. Yeah, that would be their fourth World Series win. Yeah, that would be their last ever World Series win until 2010 when they're in San Francisco. Both the Polo Grounds and Cleveland Stadium saw their last ever World Series games. Yeah, as I mentioned, Giants end up moving to San Francisco later in this decade, and Cleveland's next World Series visit was 1995. By then, they had moved into Jacobs Field. So there's the 1954 season, and quite a good year, quite a great season. Tomorrow, 1955. Who's gonna win it tomorrow? Now, stay tuned for tomorrow's video. Find out. Until then, stay tuned.